So, this is so funny. I wanted to share and document. So yesterday we were up at the garage organizing and moving stuff out, starting to build our gym space for the winter. And back when we cleared all this, so that was the big like row right there, that where that like dookie line is. That's where it was all tree and brush. We had to break all that down. And then all along the road where you see like the trees on this side, Lance cut all that down all the way up to the road over there. Anyways, made these huge burn piles that we could let dry out and then rid of them by burning. Well, while we were at the garage yesterday, because we did all this months ago, while we were at the garage, Molly, Dave's dog, Lindsay's brother, not Griffin, showed back up at the garage to say hey after she was out exploring, and she didn't have a collar on. Well, I didn't know this, but she likes to explore through these thicket pile brushes. So she was climbing all up in there. Like, she takes those little tunnels at the bottom and goes all the way in and then climbs all the way up to the top and stands at the top like a little queen. Anyways, we suspect that the collar is tangled up somewhere in here. That I heard that it was a little loose on her. So I guess the alternative is that she didn't get stuck in the brush because her collar was so tight that it, you know, kept her restrained. Rather, the collar slipped off. And Scott came out, Scott being the babysitter of the dog since Dave is not here. Scott came out and started breaking down the pile to try and find it. Well, Scott recently had eye surgery, so he only has one like fully functioning, you know, 60-something-year-old eye. The other one is rehabilitating. And the collar is literally gray and like goldy brassy color. So even someone with 20/20 vision would have a tough time seeing it in all of this kind of gradient of color. Anyways, you see this like loop? That is a vine. That is a vine that someone was like pulling and pulling and pulling and just looped up because it was easier to restrain it that way. This wildlife is gnarly. But the funny part, getting to the punchline here, for those of you that know Scott, Scott has a skill of sorting. All of his tools are sorted and piled, they're bagged. So what this man has done to this pile, because I was curious, I'm like, I'm pretty sure, Scott, you can't find it. I believe in you, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be very difficult. But he started moving this, and I thought maybe he just wants a workout. You know, moving things, farm workout. He made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 piles out of just the items on the top. He took off. And it's funny because last night I went into the house and I noticed all these piles of Tupperware. And I just started to notice a pattern. That Scott is a sorter. Scott is a sorter and pile maker and walk-awayer. And it's very entertaining to watch.